We like to wrap love into a feeling. We like to define it, something we can grasp and hold on to. An intense feeling of affection is the dictionary definition. We like to make it into something we can understand, like holding hands or touching toes in the sand. But what if love isn't meant to be defined or understood, but something that's only meant to be looked at close up? Because trying to explain it is like drinking an ocean from a cup. I'm going to tell you a story. This is the story of love. It is not a love story, but rather the story of when love himself walked on 2 feet and experienced our conceit and deceit and to break our defeat. When love in all of his holiness and perfection reached out his hand to this collection of shattered human beings. The outcasts, the sinners, those who fit in but still felt like something was missing. When the King of all people cried in a barn, and the trumpets to welcome him were the sounds of a farm. This is the story of love. When love looked around at the oceans and mountains and view, and realized that what was missing was you. When he looked around his home at the streets of gold and crystal seas, he knew he had all he needed, but what he wanted was you. So he scoured the earth, looking for the hearts that were astray, knowing that there was one way to win back the broken, those that wandered off course. Yes, the cost was great, but love knew he had to repair the divorce between his perfection and our flaws that ripped us apart and that tore through his heart. But what was the cost? What was needed to repair the bridge that we snapped? Blood. Perfect blood. Because blood broke the bridge, so only blood can rebuild it. So he gave up his son, the prince that shared his same heart, the prince that sat on heaven's throne to break the curse's wall so that we could be called his own. The prince came for once and for all, for any who crawl back to him. So he raised his hand as a volunteer, saying, "This enemy is also my friend, and I have the blood you can spend." See, this is why the story of love is different, because in this, the hero died for the villain, because he, so selfless and willing, reached out his hand and gave them his life. So the murderer doesn't have to experience the killing. So I don't have to experience the killing. Because as I kissed him on the cheek to betray him, he called me friend. And as I arrested him, he healed me and made my defense. And as I tacked him on that cross, he must have whispered my name, saying, "This one's for Jasmine, one of the reasons I came." Then he cried, "It is finished." Not the story, of course, but that the cost is diminished. Because just 3 days after, the cave that bound the prince was shaken open, and since death does not own us, no longer are we tied to this world and rusty cables, but now we are able to live as the free and walk and talk with his majesty. And maybe when I say this, you'll leave, and after, you'll go to your friends and there'll be jokes and laughter about, "Aw, the little Christian girl, trying to bring salvation to the world." Or maybe when I say this, you're skeptic, because everything in this life has led you to reject this. You'll raise your hand and ask, "Yeah, if God loved me so much, why do I hurt so bad?" But he never promised that there wouldn't be hurt. He did promise, though, that he has conquered this earth. And maybe when I say this, you get angry, and you'll stand up and you'll say to me, "You shouldn't be saying this here. You're supposed to keep quiet." You may as well be telling me to control a fire, because this love can't be contained. It's like trying to resist the force of an earthquake. No, this love can't be defined. I can't even try and sum it up, because trying to explain it is like drinking an ocean from a cup.